Welcome to the Talkies by Karman Line Studios. We are three filmmakers talking about movies. My name is Dee.
My name is Kenny.
My name is Taylor.
And today we are talking about Denis Villeneuve's Enemy. This is the movie that I suggested that all of us watch.
Yup.
And we are now here going to talk about it. So,
but breaking with tradition, our whole gimmick was supposed to be that you chose a movie that the other two of us haven't seen.
Sorry. Okay, let's.
And Taylor had seen it.
I'll say
Taylor
that.
had seen it. I was the only one.
Taylor has seen it. Yes.
Is this some kind of setup?
It was so we could gain up on you.
Yeah.
Man. Oh man.
Yeah. So get ready.
Okay. Bring it on.
Kenny, what was your hot take?
Dude, this movie's crazy.
Yeah.
This is such a crazy movie, and we will get into all the reasons why this was a crazy movie and an awesome movie, honestly. But my hottest of hot takes is that, and I'm not trying to be boastful or bragging about us, but this to me just felt like if I wrote my perfect script and Dee wrote the shot list and shot it, and Taylor directed it and made the music, it would be this movie. It's like so in line with the three of us and our sentiments. And
yeah, boy.
Like the color and the lighting, I'm just like, this is Dee's movie. Like,
yes.
Top to bottom, I'm like, this is like Dee made this.
I would absolutely agree. Yeah. The tone. I love the tone of this movie. It's Denis Villeneuve's fingerprint all over it, and I just adore it.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor, what'd you think?
It's my turn. This is probably I want to say my fifth time watching this movie. And yeah, I still love it. And it blew my mind when I first saw it. Absolutely obliterated my mind. And it was the first Denis film I saw. And yeah, and I watched it and I was like, that was like everything I could want from a movie. Like, I love the way it's executed. I like what it is and how deep it is and how it acts as a puzzle for real. Like, it actually is a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. I think this movie was made before Prisoners, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So Prisoners is more of Denis' puzzle, the thing that you're talking about there, that he really likes to create this really cryptographic atmosphere, and then just kind of go into it with like an artist mindset and just be like, whatever you think, that's pretty much what happens. And that's what was really cool about his directing style for what was the movie? Blade Runner 2049. It's because it had that same kind of like vague outset, the vague tone over the whole thing, but actually does have something inside that you can go inside and think about and take it apart and look at. This is one of my favorite Denis films. I know I'm not a huge surrealist person. I wouldn't call this surrealist though. I'd call this like Taylor said, like puzzle.
It's very psychological.
Psychological, yeah, that's a word.
To its core.
There's an interview with Jake Gyllenhaal and Denis where or I guess that was the end of the movie.
It was right after the movie, yeah.
Yeah. And in the interview, Denis says, yeah, it has to do with what he said, subconscious, talking about the subconscious and about one person living two lives, literally, and like Jake is over there going,
yeah, yeah, like they're not even on the same page of interpretation.
Not at all.
Like that, and that is awesome.
Yeah. If
there was anything that I could say was like bothered me in this film, and this is only something that could bother me the first time I watch it. It could never happen again. And that's simply that I was under the false impression that I was watching a puzzle box type movie that would have some big reveal moment at the end that made everything sink, right?
Right.
Right. And so when it abruptly ended after the spider vision, I was like, whoa, what? And like for like half a second, I was like kind of upset, and then I went, oh, this is a different kind of movie. This isn't the kind of movie I thought it was entirely. Yeah. You know. And I'm like, okay, why am I wasting time trying to figure out what's real? This is just whatever I want it to be.
Yeah.
This is like a, this is a conversation on the dual psyche of man, and all kinds of things. And I was looking for the wrong thing for a bit.
When I think, was it Taylor? Did you recommend this movie to me before?
I think so. Yeah.
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 This was the first time that I saw the first time I watched this movie. So this was the third time I watched it, but the first time I watched it, I wasn't aware of Denis as a director. At least I don't think so. And so I immediately fell in love with the tone. But like you, Kenny, I had the puzzle box mentality in my head, and I was like trying to figure out everything. Okay, he's this, he's that. Wait, he disappeared. What does that mean? And all that.
Yeah, like a Nolan movie.
Like a Nolan movie. Yeah, exactly. And so at the end, I had the same thing, a twinge of anger, but then like a complete reversal of my mindset where I'm just like, I need to watch this whole thing again. Yeah. Under a different mindset.
That's my experience exactly. Yeah.
I absolutely loved it the third time, and I have a new interpretation of it. I love so much.
I'd love to hear some interpretive stuff from you guys because I'm still like shell shocked from my first experience. I'm like barely like, holy cow! There's like, I could say the first time I watched it, I literally had no idea what the movie was about. Like I was completely stumped, but I loved it. Like the end was so out of left field. Like I was shocked. I'm like, how do you ended a movie like that? Like that is crazy. Yeah. And then had the audacity to run like a 8-minute closing titles with beautiful footage behind it. It's just like I'm gonna let you sit on this for a long time.
What was I gonna say? Well, interpretation. Anyway, interpretation. Taylor, tell me your interpretation.
My interpretation is pretty close to what Denis has talked about when he talks about his vision for the film and how he sees the film. I've seen a few interviews with him and then watched the movie over, and it's pretty much the whole thing is this. He's the same guy. It's not really physically two different people. It's him, and it's from the point of view of his subconscious. So his subconscious does split these personas apart, so we see that manifested. And then it's a run through his guilt of being a cheater and being involved with some nefarious sexual deeds and the darker parts of his personalities and how he is always slipping back into that habit over and over again, it seems.
Did you get the over and over again from the last part?
Yeah, that's the end for me. Yeah, is where he kind of succeeds for a second and then doesn't, and his wife even looks disappointed when he makes up an excuse to get out, and then we see the spider and we're like descending back into his world.
Yeah. I love the connection with the spider. The spider is actually Denis, like if you want to call it his thumbprint in the script itself, because the script was based off of a novella called The Double, and the novel or the novella was more straightforward, and it sounds a lot like a Nolan film when I read the summary of it, but Denis took that and he just made it not completely metaphorical, but way more.
He Kubricked it.
Kubricked it. I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, this is like the most Kubrick movie I've seen that's not Kubrick.
That's awesome, because dude, if I wish I saw Kubrick movies this way, and it's probably just because actually I guess I do see a bunch of them this way, but I rarely enjoy them this much. My interpretation of the film was closer to yours, Taylor. More about how Denis talked about that the subconscious. Obviously, it's subconscious of two guys being the same person, but discovering each other. And the idea of them discovering each other feels like, in my head, like it's him remembering what he's done before, and then wanting to be that person again. And so them literally meeting, or his mind going through his memories of going to that one, and then going to that one, then going to that one, and it's just going back and forth. And it felt like the last part of him returning to the cheater mentality from the teacher, the Adam guy, from Adam going to Anthony, seemed to bridge everything together for me. It seemed to be like, this is him, this is how he thinks and everything. And specifically the spider, to me, I don't know if it ever meant anything other than it symbolizing his darkness.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
So this is interesting because from that interview where we saw Jake Gyllenhaal sitting with Denis, it sounds like even between director and actor, they weren't real open about saying this means that. They're just going through this like a acting and performance exercise rather than trying to tell one definitive message.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But then I read that the cast and crew had to sign sign paperwork stating that they would not talk about the meaning of the spiders, specifically the spiders,
I didn't know that
at all. After the movie was made, they were forbidden to discuss the meaning of the spiders.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think this movie is like a case of, like, Denis. I think Denis made a very, very specific, very deliberate, very. I think he made one story, and it is that way for him. And every choice he made was based on that one story. But I think he will allow others to, like, he's not going out there and stamping it himself as that, even though he made it that way. But I think he allows it to stand on its own for others to interpret and unravel, because that's really fun to do.
Yeah.
And clearly Jake Gyllenhaal, like, has his own point of view too.
Yeah. It's cool to see Denis be a director who's very open to the idea of other people look at his films and get what they want from it.
Yeah.
And that's what I really, really enjoyed from Sicario, which was so weird to me because it's a straight up action film that has a straight story to it, but it has this underlying, or I guess overtone of like this, I want to call it interpretive feel. And I guess it's because it's less on the nose shots, and it's more about displaying how a person feels at any given time, just by showing the action. And I think that's probably what draws me to Denis, is his focus on using visuals to show emotion as opposed to show specific items, like how David Fincher would do, right? David Fincher uses his shots very specifically, like Alfred Hitchcock. But Denis uses them kind of like Kubrick, where they're there to convey a feeling, or like the Coen Bros, where they're there to convey something rather than say something specifically. And that to me speaks on such a emotional level, just me, because I like cinematography, and that's probably why I like openly interpretive film like this one, because I don't usually like interpretive films, as you guys know.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Boy, the cinematography was incredible. Some of the best I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, on point.
Yeah.
Knocked me on my ass when I first saw it.
And the lighting, man,
Yeah.
some amazing lighting especially in Adam's home.
Yeah.
That's the teacher one is Adam, right? Yeah. In Adam's home, where they kept things so dark and everything was like backlit and looked really cool.
I have this weird interpretation I thought was pretty cool too. So Adam, okay, so Adam's the history teacher, right? Who has this job and everything, but he has a really dank apartment, like dank, not in the internet savvy way, but just
like
really
literally dank,
right? And he's sleeping with who knows what, just some girl, who comes over there for booty calls, and that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas, on the other hand, we have Anthony, who's a famous movie star, or famous more or less, and has a really nice apartment and everything, and a wife who's pregnant, and he has a bright future ahead. But those two characters are switched, right? They talk about, when he talks to his mom later on, we kind of get the idea, these are the same person, but she says things like, you should stop that movie star nonsense, or you should stop, getting into that movie stuff.
It's the first clue that it's one person.
Yeah, that's like the first definitive clue.
Yeah, like that sentence and just that conversation made me think, Adam is in the wrong reality, and so is Anthony. They're supposed to be switched. Adam is supposed to have this bright future ahead of him because he has such a straightforward job, and Anthony has this stupid dank apartment with the girl that he's just been cheating on, and it's not going anywhere because she's just some girl.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dude, that car wreck was freaking impressive. Did you think? That was like one of the coolest car wrecks I've seen in a movie. It was.
I have to say, I hated that car wreck.
Really?
I was gonna say I thought it looked kind of weird too.
I thought it looked cheesy.
I thought it looked crazy.
It looked crazy.
Different. It looked different from what I see in movies normally.
Yeah.
I love the shot, and I love what happens.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's primarily me too. The CG threw me off.
It's the physics.
I like the car wreck though.
It's the physics of the roll is what's weird.
It went a little Avengers when it bounced around.
Yeah. But I mean, there's no other way to do the shot.
Pretty much. Oh, dude, yeah. So talk about the cinematography real quick. So I don't know about you guys when you're on like sets and stuff, but when you're behind the camera and you're changing lenses, what informs you two specifically about what lens to put on or what field of view to shoot? What's in your mind when you're choosing a shot?
Well, in a movie like this, you would have chose that long before you were on set, right?
So, sorry, say that again.
Isn't that a choice you would have made long before being on set?
Absolutely, it would be. But I mean, like if you're on set, because all three of us have been on set, changing lenses and whatnot, and seeing what looks good. So in your minds, what is in your mind when you choose a focal range or a focal field of view? 24, 35, 55, whatever.
Often with me, it has to do with like a level of intimacy
with the person.
Yeah, well, it depends on what you're shooting, but yeah.
Sure. Do you go for closer shots if it's like a more intimate?
Close and like a shallower depth of field, I think feels more intimate than something where you can see.
How about you, Tay?
It's for me. It's all about what I want in the frame, and it's all about what the emotion of the scene calls for, and how
what feels.
Yeah, what feels right. Yeah, and then however, like I generally like think, like I have my own like set feelings for what different like lenses feel like to me, and so I'll like use that accordingly. So it's very subjective.
It's very selfish.
Yeah,
extremely selfish. I'm extremely self-centered when it comes to that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Unashamed.
The reason why I ask is because on this in this movie, it feels very similar to when the cinematography on all the shots in here feels very similar to when I've been on set and I have the wrong lens on. I have the long one that I've been using for some other shot of a 50 on an APS-C lens on an APS-C crop factor, which is 85 to full frame people out there. So an 85 mil shot, and what happens is I just leave the lens on and then I move the camera in order to compensate. And so what happens is I have this really long lens, but if I need a wide shot, I'll just back way the heck up. Or if I need a closer shot, I'll just go way forward and I won't change the lens at all.
Well, We've all done that, but it's because we're poor and don't have enough lenses.
So what's interesting
You get that
is this
compressed
movie,
shot.
Yeah, this movie used, I feel like, the same mentality. I mean, obviously,
Intentionally.
So you think
Yeah, it was intentional.
they use like the same focal length like the whole time, pretty much?
It seems like it, and not only backing up the camera and putting it forward and stuff like that, but when they would do wide shots, it was literally like showing half of the people. It was like from the torso up, and you have this giant headroom, and then when you have shots outside, they cut off their feet.
Yeah.
I did notice that. Yeah.
There's only like one big wide shot, and it's like the first time the two of them are together, you see them head to toe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point, is that you never see a wide shot in here. Nothing goes beyond what seems like 55 millimeters. Like, everything is so long.
Yeah.
I feel like that, I mean, you can interpret it any way you want, but it feels like everything is less intimate. And the only intimate shot that I feel like was in here was, strangely enough, not sex scenes, but the hands shot where they're showing their hands.
That was cool.
Yeah, that did feel really intimate.
Yeah, that was that felt like a little bit wider, around 35 mil or so, whereas everything else was very distant. So I just thought that was really interesting.
Having that such narrow like focal length throughout, I'm sure they didn't use 50 for everything, but it was like around that for everything. It gives it kind of gives it this like boxy kind of feel.
Yeah.
This like compressed, like claustrophobic ish.
Yeah, claustrophobic. That's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels, especially Adam's apartment. Like they made a small apartment feel smaller.
Well, it's also an interesting choice just thematically when you're trying to tell a story of basically two entities occupying the same space.
Yeah.
Right? Or a story that is taking place within the mind.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Being less
as
expansive
if you're viewing everything.
visually.
Yeah, it makes sense to compress it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's just my absolute favorite look, and I hate to say that I'm drawn to this movie just because of the aesthetic, but I mean that's definitely like 50%.
It's a very strong aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's the kind of movie where you can definitely say that.
Yeah.
When you guys first watched this movie, and Kenny, that was
a few hours ago.
Just a few hours ago. I remember when I first watched it, I didn't know that much about it other than like there was a doppelganger movie, but I didn't know how far they were going to take the gimmick. I kind of saw it as a gimmick. I was like, how much is this going to be? Like, is it going to be all in his head? Is it going to be for real? Like, what is it going to be, And I'm always skeptical of movies that kind of have I feel like a gimmick like that, where it's like, oh, it's the same two doppelganger. What's the mystery there,
you get it immediately.
Yeah, and I kept being surprised at how far the film took its concept. And not knowing like the whole psychological side of it in the first time, and like going to the point where when they are comparing their bodies and they have the same scar, I remember that being a really shocking moment, because I was like, wow, this is going a lot deeper than I expected it to with this concept.
I wish I wasn't spending energy trying to solve the puzzle.
Yeah.
While watching this, because that's how you guys know I'm always either like frustrated that I could predict what's happening next, and I can't turn off that part of my brain. And so I love a movie that takes me off guard, and this, freaking did that. But I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I wasn't, because as soon as they showed the scars, I'm like, okay, so they're conjoined twins. They were both connected there at that tissue, and and I realized like I'm wasting energy looking for clues when I could just be enjoying this movie.
Yeah, watch it unfold. Yeah.
That's funny. I had kind of the same thought when I was like the first time I watched it was exactly the same. Kenny, the same experience, where at the end I'm just like, what, God, I gotta watch it again. Right?
Yeah, like I feel compelled to watch it really soon.
And so like when I watched it this time, it was I constantly had to divide myself from the gimmick that you were talking about today, where I'm just like I had to, because my mind just automatically goes into analysis, right? It's just like Kenny, instead of projecting forward, I just like super, focus on details and whatnot and try to connect them together. But but this one, like it leaves those details in, but they mean something different if you reinterpret it,
There's a lot of details that feel like clues. That's what I mean. Like, it feels like you're going on a puzzle box sort of mission here. Right. And so when the movie ended, it felt like we had just wrapped up like the second act to me. Mm-hmm. Looking at it in that traditional sort of, Christopher Nolan style movie. I'm like, okay.
Short. I love talking about.
Yeah.
What's that?
What were you going to say about Christopher Nolan?
Me?
You said I love talking about what?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I love just how you say it's like a Nolan movie, because it really is. If Nolan was like way more artistic.
I was gonna say if Nolan was a little bit better.
So my experience with Denis isn't as vast as your guys. The two films that I have the most watch hours in are Arrival and Blade Runner. Both of which, while being extremely unique, are pretty practical in their format.
Grounded.
Yeah. They have beginning, middles, and ends that I think you'd call traditional.
Mm-hmm.
And so this took me just completely off guard.
Yeah,
just completely off guard.
That's great. I think Prisoners actually would be up your alley, Kenny.
Yeah.
It's not like this. It's not like surreal or anything, but it's interesting because it's a puzzle box, but it's done differently. It's just Denis' way of doing stuff. Anyway,
Enemy is definitely Denis' weirdest movie that I've seen.
I would not say that.
No, I haven't seen. There's only like Incendies. Is that weirder?
No, Incendies is actually very grounded. It's a very sad movie. That one.
What's
his
weirder?
short.
Oh, okay.
His short called what is it called? Next Floor? Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. The one with the rhino on the front.
I haven't seen his short films.
Anyway, it's not like super it's not super weird. It's just completely 04, and it works really well. It's easy to tell what it's about, but it's really funny to connect it. Anyway, yeah, I would say that's his weirdest movie.
Yeah. I loved that shot of the gigantic spider over the city.
Yeah, that's a
with
cool
the
one.
really long legs. That was the first clue to me that I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is
like, wait, that's not normal.
This is not. Yeah, I'm like, maybe I should stop trying to figure out where the sex cult is.
In the forecast today, we have spider.
Yeah, like there were. It honestly is a little frustrating. There's all these moments where I was like, trying to figure out what, when we're getting back to this other story. Right? There's like an Eyes Wide Shut style club he's a member of, and I'm like, clearly this is going to be a big part of the reveal at the end or something. I was like, oh, I like wasted brain energy trying to solve that.
that whole shot with oh man, the cinematography is amazing. The shot, the dream shot where we see the girl walking
upside
in the
down
hallway. Yeah,
that was amazing.
That is a great shot.
Is the spider? Yeah, that was. Yeah. And the opening scene is just masterful. The stepping on the spider.
Yeah.
That's an eerie thing.
It's funny. This movie is what I would like you said, Kenny. It's like perfectly us three. This movie has. It was the first time that I saw the ratings, and it was like 6 point something out of 10 on average. Mm-hmm. And it made me think it was one of those movies where people see it traditionally, like as a puzzle box, as a Nolan film, and they come to the end and be like, that didn't make it work. Fuck this movie. You know?
I bet everyone who doesn't like this movie was 100% in till the end.
Yeah.
Because it honestly holds up like a traditional, sort of suspense mystery type film.
Yeah.
All the way up till the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like it hits all the beats for that kind of movie.
It doesn't give you
"Whoa,
a traditional
it's not."
conclusion.
Yeah,
Right.
They force you to interpret.
yeah.
Some of the like upon reinterpreting the film, like taking the whole puzzle stuff out of it, looking at some of the conversations between the wife and Adam was really cool to me. To like look at the like when the girl when the wife was at the school and she was sitting on the bench across from Adam and she's talking to him, like when you think about it just literally, you're just like, oh yeah, she's weirded out, right? That's it looks like her husband, you know, that's so crazy. But she looks so intense. She's just like she was completely like flipped, like it's a different universe.
Yeah, like I thought her reaction was a little strong.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it made me think, I'm like, she's looking at the other side of her husband. She's looking at at this point it's the good side as opposed to the, you know, cheating side.
Yeah.
But she's looking at this other side, and then when they get together and they, you know, they're in the bedroom together, she wants that one to stay. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of...
I have to rewatch this.
Yeah. It's like she's looking at her husband, you know, and being weirded out that her husband is treating her like a stranger.
I'm so like I'm bothered that I've missed out on some like I feel like I've missed stuff in this movie because I was on superficial level here.
No, you definitely did. I was
that's
the same
just
way.
First watch
the exact same way
with this movie.
Yeah. Well, there's been so many movies where people say afterwards, this is one you're going to want to watch over and over again. And I almost never agree. This is one of those.
Where you're like, actually, yeah.
Because I already know I will have a fundamentally different experience.
Yeah.
And that's like, exciting.
Yeah. Like Tenet is one of those movies that a lot of people are like, watch over and over again, you know?
Yeah, that sounds like punishment. But with that very scene you were talking about when he's with the other wife and she's like, how was school today, right? And I'm like,
right,
oh my gosh, she's actually saying that she knows that this is the other guy and she's cool with it, like she wants him to stay, right? And I'm like, so I'm seeing. And so that's what I mean.
It's a different thing.
I was on a different plane. Yeah. I ignored a whole other plane of the movie that's there.
A whole other level.
Yeah, like I feel like I missed the movie.
1 second, guys.
Yeah. He needs to...
Hello, if I'm in the middle of a Talkies episode.
He needs to answer his book.
I am. Amy says hi, Talkies.
Hi, Amy.
And they're saying something, but I can't hear because my headphones are off. Probably not, no. Well, I don't know. What time are you getting home? No. Yeah, we'll be done. All right, love you too. Bye. I apologize. Let's do it at a point there. Okay, we good?
Yeah.
Okay. What, did I cut you off, Kenny?
I don't remember.
I had a detail I wanted to mention.
Do that.
About the that one scene where they are sitting on the park bench with his wife, but he doesn't know, and she's weirded out, and he gets up when he leaves. He's like, you never know how your day is going to turn out. Have a nice day. And he walks away. And she starts to call Adam. And the phone rings. And we're watching. We sit on a shot where you see Jake Gyllenhaal walking away. And the phone's ringing and ringing. And then he rounds the corner. And then the phone gets picked up.
Yeah. Just as he's out of sight.
Yeah.
I felt that to be very deliberate.
And for me, it was another one of those moments where I'm like, he's screwing with us, trying to hide, or, the reveal is coming.
No, it's not.
But it's not.
There is no reveal.
No, that is the reveal.
That there is no reveal?
Yes. The reveal is that this isn't that kind of movie.
Like, looking at the script, or at the book that this script was based off of, it made me feel like worse. Like, I read the summary of the book, and they're talking about how the double is literally it's basically the literal interpretation of this movie, of the superficial.
It's two separate
Oh,
people.
it's another guy. Yeah, it's a separate person. The ending of that book is still really interesting because it's weird because it has like a looping effect to it. But anyway, yeah, it's very literal. You got two people, but the fact that Denis wanted to take it and turn it into like a thought process of a movie. That's really
cool.
Love it. Yeah. it's so cool.
Yeah. That is cool.
He adapted it to the medium.
Yeah. This is the kind of movie that I wish more people enjoyed so that I could see more of these.
Yeah.
He did a lot more than adapt it to the medium. He took it, he didn't just take it to film, he took it to like the subconscious plane.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's something. That's being like, let's make a film version of Jurassic Park, but the purpose is that the dinosaurs represent your your Freudian impulse. That would be
amazing.
Have sex
I would
with
love
your mother.
that. I would love to see a more symbolic to Jurassic Park.
Oh man.
Or Jaws. Could you imagine Jaws?
Jaws is a Freudian metaphor, 100%. That's about a guy that can't get an erection. That's what. It's clear as day. Clear as day.
I got that on my first viewing of Jaws.
It is obvious.
Yeah.
It's
obvious.
Very obvious. Yeah,
it's obvious
a little,
with that scene.
A little too heavy-handed.
That scene where he pulls his pants down and he can't get hard. You know.
Yeah, a little on the nose there, Spielberg. I love the score for this so much.
Yeah, it's really good.
And again, such a unique way of scoring a film. It was very, very true to the tone of the movie, and I don't know. Again, felt very Taylor. It was like ambience with extreme intention.
This is going to be high praise for one of the filmmakers that we talked about before, but when we did a short film roundup, there was one person who submitted a film called Tube.
Oh yeah,
that reminds me a lot of this film.
Yeah,
was that Dario?
Yeah, Dario
Ortega.
Yeah,
that's a great short film.
He's a good filmmaker.
Yeah,
good filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, weird question. This is completely out of the blue.
Okay.
But if you imagine that this movie was like, I don't know, a pizza, what kind of pizza would it be?
Why the hell would you say that?
What the fuck is wrong with you, D?
Probably.
What?
Because it's what we've done in every episode since we started this podcast.
What can come from comparing a movie to a pizza?
It doesn't even make any sense.
This serves nobody. We lose the whole audience whenever we do this segment. Everyone just, as soon as we have the pizza question, gone. Everyone's just gone.
Click off.
They hit that 30-second ahead button that most people only use that for commercials.
But they just go
our
to the
audience
end.
uses it for the pizza rating.
They just go to the end.
Yeah.
They skip to the end.
They skip to the commercials.
Like we need to start doing a star rating.
Yeah, stars
rating
are much more. There's some people
it's
understand
objective.
Stars.
They're much more nuanced.
And, yeah, we want to add a layer of objectivity to film.
All right, what kind of pizza is this movie?
Wait, we're doing the pizza thing?
Yeah, Pete. We have to. It's in our contract.
All right.
It's in our DNA, man.
It's in the
DNA.
DNA.
Payman made us do it. Okay, if this movie was a pizza. Oh, okay. This is I don't even know. I don't even know. This would be. Okay, this is going to sound really strange. Have you guys ever had 3D Doritos?
3D Doritos.
Were they like cubes or something?
They were like triangles
I
that were
remember
like
this.
blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a stupid
They actually
gimmick.
just came out with them again. Yeah, they're stupid. This movie is a pizza that looks on the outside to be a normal pizza. Kind of thick, fluffy, and it looks pretty good. It looks like a Nolan pizza.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to take a slice, you can't. You take a slice and the entire pizza picks up with you, and you find out it's all just air that's inside. It's actually one big cracker crust that's like a 3D Dorito. It's like one big hollow pizza.
Wow.
And you don't know about it, but you go to try to take a bite of it, and it's just like you just crunch, and it's like one big chip.
Is that good?
Not
though?
what you were expecting. Not what you were expecting whatsoever. But wow, it would like blew your mind. It's amazing. You have to try it again.
All right. all right. Okay, so you order a pizza. It's delivered to your house by just a gorgeous human being. I'll not ascribe a gender. Just a human being that's beautiful. Okay, and you open it up, and it's some concoction of toppings that like you don't even know what kind of foods these are, but you eat it. you eat it, and you're like, wow, that's actually quite good. But I really won't know until I try it again. I think I need to eat this whole pizza. And you decide you're going to systematically eat this entire pizza, re-deciding how much you like it every time, except you stop in your tracks with your eating when you look up and realize that the delivery person is a giant spider.
Whoa.
Boom.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
and
deep.
you just had sex with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, whoa.
So that is whoa.
Can you handle that?
So whoa.
Mine is this movie is a premium pepperoni pizza.
Wait, premium?
Premium.
That's sensible.
Yeah, premium. Fresh out of the oven, and it's got fresh Parmigiano Reggiano grated right on to the pizza with whatever the freshest red chili flakes on there also, and you're eating the pizza, and you go through the whole pizza all the way up to the crust, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. This is absolutely delicious pizza. How could this get any better? And then you bite into the crust, and you realize that it's cheese stuffed crust, and it's just glorious. And then you realize that there's way more to this pizza than I expected.
More than meets the eye.
Yeah.
You go to bite the crust.
Taylor,
just finish it.
I am still so amused that of the three of us, you're the only one that takes the pizza rating seriously.
I take it completely seriously.
It is always a legit, real pizza.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I'm not trying
D
to
and
do
I are here
analogies.
coming up with
no.
crazy stories and analogies. And you're just like, well, yeah, it's this pizza.
I take it. I take the question literally. You know, if
Yeah,
it is a pizza, that's what it would be.
Kenny and I take it metaphorically.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're artists.
Because we're artists.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know about
I'm an
you.
accountant.
Yeah, mister. Go count your beans. You bean counter.
I got beans. I got beans, bitch.
Wow. Hey, you heard it here first.
I guess you did, yeah. So, well, thank you for listening to the Talkies by Karman Line Studios. We try to put these up every Friday, but
We always
we've been
suck.
not doing that.
Hey,
because
don't you
I'm
know
the one
there's
who
still a
edits them.
pandemic going on?
Yeah, I would just crutch on that.
These are unprecedented times.
Oh, these
There
are
have
unprecedented.
been-
So
There have been pandemics in the past.
Okay.
if movies aren't your thing, go watch Games Over Coffee. That's a thing.
Plug.
I can't promote that show.
Absolute
honestly.
shameless plug.
I'm not on
I'm
board.
without shame.
Hey, do I get to pick the movie next week?
You do, man. It's your
All
turn.
right.
Taylor's turn. Do you already have it picked?
Yeah, I do.
Make an announcement.
You do?
Yeah, I got it picked. I'm going to make the announcement of the movie we're going to watch next week. And the name of that movie is In the Mood for Love by Wong Kar-wai.
I've wanted to see that movie forever.
Hell yeah. I've only seen it once, so...
D, have you seen it?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, dude. D, people... It's crazy because no one knows about it, and yet it's widely considered to be the best movie ever made.
It's
all right.
It's
then.
a very famous movie.
There are
I'm
all these
now.
international lists that have that at the top.
It was ranked.
Crazy.
I think it was ranked the best movie of the 21st century by like AFI or something like that. So far.
So after that, then we need to watch WW84.
Oh.
Hey, that is one I've seen that you two haven't.
Oh, you can pick it, dude. You'd have to watch it again.
You know me, I like to keep us grounded. You guys are you're way up here in the stratosphere with your movie picks, and I bring us down into the gutter.
What do we do? We did Strange Brew, Enemy, In the Mood for Love, and then
damn, that is
man.
Eclectic. Holy shit.
That's why we get that really that really pure devoted follower on YouTube. It's that combination it brings out a certain element.
Got to keep it fresh.
All right, keep it.
Alrighty.
Well, keep eating pizza, folks. Bye.
Keep eating pizza.
Keep your pizzas hot.
I'm gonna stop now.